EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
Radiant team pick.
Keeper of the light.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Tegna.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Imba Spirit.
Ten seconds Dire remaining. Team ban.
Legion Commander.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Grimstroke.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Bang.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Good day, friends, and here we go with the Arena of Blood Season 2. We're glad to see you on UCC broadcast, and the next couple of hours, all action, drama, blood, and awesome plays are for you. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. First deposit bonus up to $600. At EGB.com, you can also find convenient service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interested? Click on the banner under the broadcast. That said, guys, my name is DSwordfish. We're casting this Nemiga game versus Friends. This is the lower bracket of the Arena of Blood Season 2 qualifiers. Whoever wins this game gets to make it to the grand final, where Veni Vidi Vici are waiting for them to see if they can take that last game and become the second team to qualify. We'll see. Nemiga, the pick has been just taking this land by storm is the Pugna, really. We've seen it almost every single game. Nemiga also taking advantage of this hero. I quite enjoy the Pugna with the Ember Spirit, Grimstroke, and a Void Spirit to add to it. So Ember and Void plus now the Pugna. Okay, they're definitely running the Void in the offlane, then the Ember Spirit probably in the mid lane or safe lane, and the Pugna here as the position 4, which is what he's been run off a lot. He's a really quick hero, which is really prevalent in the meta. He has really low core items, not very expensive core items, which is also very important, and of course deals a lot of magical damage, which is always great. Friends also using some heroes that are very prevalent in the meta, the Bane and the Keeper of the Light, perhaps a bit less so the Legion Commander, but still powerful. Not great combinations right now, but you do have a lot of single target stuns. Between Legion and Bane, BKBs become useless, and Keeper of the Light makes it so you have to get a BKB to kind of last against them, so they do have a fair amount of lockdown, perhaps lacking damage as of now. We'll see what they pick as their 4th pick here for Friends. Not really sure. I'm not really sure here what they could run. They need a mid lane that brings some damage, or a carry that brings some damage to the table. Ricky? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like this actually. A high DPS hero. You already have so much control in your team. And with the Coddle as well, Ricky does combine himself nicely. Yeah, it's actually not bad at all. I'm kind of inclined almost onto Friends' lineup. Nemiga has the Pugna, whom I found to be really, really strong right now, but... and the Pugna Grimstroke. In fact, Nemiga has a really solid lineup too, but I do like a lot what Friends is doing. It's a hard lineup to execute though, mostly being single target, mostly being spells that have a lot of detriment, because the Bane in the wrong position, Fiend's Grip gets cancelled, right? The duel to the wrong target, you die, and you give damage to the enemy team. That's not great, that's not great. So you're looking for an alternative here, and we're seeing what that may be. Okay, cool. The stream is running. We're seeing what Friends can bring to the table here as their mid lane. Or maybe a Kunkka wouldn't mind. A Shadow Fiend. Okay, that's nice actually. Brings the damage you were looking for, but you also bring the team fight that Friends would require with a Requiem of Souls as well. So I actually love this pickup. Prevents potential Ember or Void Spirit in the mid lane, which wasn't the case until now, and even bans the TA, which is really the only hero that could deal with the Shadow Fiend. And Shadow Fiend's a hero that has a pretty good matchup against most heroes. Worst case scenario, you go into the jungle, so it's not a really big deal. I like this. Nemiga. What is this 5th pick? What is this 5th pick to answer to the Shadow Fiend? The Wraith King, so they are going to run either Void or Ember mid. I hope it's Ember. Nah, it must be Ember. You can't run the Void mid. Ember against Shadow Fiend, okay, that's a very much of a skilled matchup. It really does depend on how well the Ember is capable of evading those raises, and also on the build that Ember goes for. Oh, Melojewel's playing the Ember. No, yeah, of course. The chosen one is the offlane. Yeah, that's my bad. So, yeah, I don't love this last pick by Nemiga. I think you kind of sacked your mid lane a bit. I think the Ember usually does well, especially against a Shadow Fiend by Usha, a very confident Shadow Fiend. Probably going to be a lot of pump out raises. And even if you go for the Sleight of Fist build, usually the build against Shadow Fiend I prefer is the 3 points in Sleight of Fist early and then 2 points in Flame Guard to mitigate some of the damage. If you go for the Searing Chains build, you're kind of hoping they're going to win the lane. It's not always guaranteed. And if you go for the Flame Guard build full on, you're playing a bit too passive and Shadow Fiend can just kick you out. The issue here, I like the Wraith King in general because he is one of the best heroes against these single target long stuns. So actually a really good answer, but everything else has kind of been countered. You have really high mobile heroes which are countered by the smoke screen, which are countered by the plethora of stuns here. And even though Wraith King is particularly good against Legion Commander or Bane, not in lane, but in general, because he does withstand the whole Fiend's Grip or the whole duel, whatever it is, he's actually really weak against heroes like Keeper of Light or Shadow Fiend, because you have a lot of skills with which to kite him with. In fact, even Ricky, to some degree, is kind of good against the Wraith King, because he has mobility, which means you can kite the Wraith King, and on top of that, you have the Diffusal Blade, which also guarantees some early kills. So overall, I'm kind of inclined slightly towards the Friends draft, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's the best draft considering this meta, but I do think you have really nice team fight. I think you have really nice pick-off potential.
EGB.
So overall, the drafts, it will depend a lot on execution, honestly. I think the draft by Friends is not the easiest to execute. Most people think that Bane is just a, point and click hero, easy to do the Fiend script, but the wrong Fiend script or the wrong duel here can really be difficult, or can really destroy your team fight. Also, the Grimstroke being a really important factor here to cancel both the duels and the Fiend's Grip, because of course he carries a silence for both of them, also the Inkswell to stop the duel. You have a lot of options here, and it also is easier to execute the carry-like portion, right? Ricky is a hero that usually requires an okay laning stage, snowballing from there. Wraith King, on the other hand, not the greatest, not really requiring anything, honestly. He's the kind of hero that he has a very versatile build, Desolator Morrigan, or alternatively the typical Radiance build. He farms usually pretty well. It's up to the Legion Commander to see how difficult his lane becomes. So I would come into this game kind of giving it to Nemiga. I think Nemiga is a slightly better team overall, especially in terms of execution, than Friends. Though Friends do have some really good players, and don't get me wrong, it's just that we have seen Nemiga do pretty well overall. But in this tournament particularly, I have not seen Nemiga at their best, so I do kind of incline towards Friends. And this draft is really good, honestly. The draft for Friends is very solid. It covers, it just dots all the I's, crosses all the T's, you have team fight, damage, and stuns. What else do you want? I guess the lanes aren't the strongest, honestly. Bane usually wins his lanes. Cuddle depends on what his laning partner is. Cuddle Ricky's not particularly the strongest lane, and Cuddle plus, and Ricky plus Bane is not great either, so we'll see how they kind of lane this in the end. But besides that, as long as you can withstand the early game, you'll be more or less fine. It's not like the Nemiga ran Centaur in the off lane, or is running something like, I don't know, the Zeus or DP in the mid lane, or the carry lifestealer. Like, you're up against a Wraith King, which is okay, but Legion usually beats him. Void Spirit shouldn't really be able to kill Ricky either. Smoke Screen's always available. And the mid lane, you have the Ember Spirit as well against a Shadow Fiend, so it's not going to be a one lane there.
This pleases me to no end.
So we'll see how this ends up for them. Position 4 Pugna here, and the Void Spirit as well as the 3. That does make him a bit stronger at being able to kick out the Riki. Actually, I didn't really consider the Pugna. Pugna is very good at kicking out the Riki, and we'll see. They're going to run the Coddle together with Legion. I hope. I think that's the better lane, to be honest, but then you're sacrificing your carry a bit. But usually Bane is able to trade with Pugna quite nicely, because Bane just has a really good armor and just very nice stats in the early game. So, pretty good advantage for Bane in general over a Pugna. Since you have a lot high range, Nether Blast is not the easiest to hit, and Bane has good movement speed as well in the early. And we are seeing that they're just going to deal a simple Bounty Rune trade in the beginning. No big deal. Nothing to be said here. Okay, so let's see how this ends up for both teams. And whoever wins this will have to play right after this against F.R.I.E.N.D.S, so that's going to be an exciting match to cast. Because in the case of... I believe it was Nemiga actually who lost against F.R.I.E.N.D.S in the first round. F.R.I.E.N.D.S being pretty superior. I mean, they did throw a bit, but it was pretty superior. So it would be interesting if Friends get the pass, right? Because then F.R.I.E.N.D.S gets to we have all the matchups possible that we could have in this tournament. Yeah, they're going to run the Bane with the Riki and the Legion Commander with the Coddle. This is just a better lane, honestly. I understand that you're not want to put the Bane here. And it's not like Coddle does a lot with Riki. I would argue perhaps he's a bit better than the Bane in terms of the combos you can run, but it's going to be a tough lane no matter what. You don't really have a good support for him. And the early, they are going to see the Flame Guard build to start off with. So, Melojul forces... I mean, I guess usually most Shadow Fiends go for raises anyway, but Melojul goes for the Flame Guard to prevent some of the damage. Now you finally have Necromastery. Shush. Let's see how you deal with this lane. I'm very questioning what the Melojul build is going to be. He has a Flame Guard. He has a Sleight of Fist now. We'll see if he maxes Sleight of Fist or he maxes Flame Guard. Okay, so Sidoi in the bottom lane for now is not actually having the easiest of times. Blinding Light, not the greatest. You kind of have to use that. You go for the overwhelming odds early as well in Sidoi. I like the press attack build for this lane particularly because it's good against the Ghost and it's good against the... I mean, if you can get it off before the Silence. And it's good against, of course, the Wraithfire Blast because it prevents the damage. So I am a big fan of the press attack build in general, especially this game because you particularly have to deal with the Searing Chains, the Wraithfire Blast, the Decrepify. There's a lot of things to dispel. A lot of useful stuns. It's not like the enemy team has the more consistent stunning. They don't have AoE stuns. In the middle lane, we do miss a kill. Sorry about that. But we do get this for Shush, who has level 2 raises. And that's what I was talking about, right? The lane is won by a Shadow Fiend 9 times out of 10. Ember can try to play this more aggressively if he wants to. Glad he's not. He's playing with a Flame Guard build. But it's just a tough lane to really beat. And trying to evade the raises, perhaps against a 3k or 4k Shadow Fiend, sure. But Shush, one of his best heroes, much tougher. Much tougher to be able to accomplish that. Here in the bottom lane, we are constantly going back here for some strange reason, even though the action seems to be happening elsewhere. Yeah, and the top lane seems to be much more action heavy. And we are seeing that Legion is accomplishing much more than this Void Spirit. 7 last hits only on the Void Spirit. 1 deny, whereas Legion has 4 denies already. Looking really nice, and the Riki has many more last hits now than the Wraith King, or just a couple, but enough to showcase that the offlaner of the Legion is just much stronger right now. Ember is managing to beat Shush in last hits more or less, but he's accomplishing this by pushing the lane, which is not too great. He doesn't want to really fight Shush, of course, in the lane, because there's no point to that. You're going to lose that, so you might as well try to just evade him. The problem with this is that because you lost the early game already, now it's not just the raises you have to worry about, but also the auto attacks. So the Sleight of Fist build is no longer really a viable option, or at least not a consistently viable option. Now I see why Sidoi, by the way, is going for the overwhelming odds build, probably the magic, the Tucker magic. You kind of want to take advantage of it. I get it. I like Tucker magic with press attack too, but obviously if you can play aggressively, why not? Also, it's really punishing to the skeletons play. And again, if we can just check out what Melojul is going for as he gets hit there. Oh, look at that. They're really pumping out the raises, trying to get the Sleight of Fist off, so we'll see. The reduction of the cooldown is very important there, and Sidoi is doing a fantastic job on this Legion Commander. dark here in the bottom lane. You do get a nice little blinding light, but the Doge is just trying to contest this. That was a double. Yeah, that was the best way actually to pull nowadays. I think a lot of people forget how strong it is to just stack the camp and pull, because then the enemy team cannot really contest it. I mean, they have to literally go to the small camp to contest. Lucky for Friends, they have a Legion Commander and a Coddle, so they have no trouble contesting that. But if they were trying to do a double pull in this case, it's just too complicated. It's not going to succeed 9 times out of 10, even if you do the tricks and everything, just simply because of the fact that Coddle and Legion can both cancel you. So the lanes have gone actually really well for them. I was expecting the Riki lane to go a bit worse, considering it's a Pugna in the lane, but Bane has actually kept him at bay quite a lot, what I was talking about, right? He's just a very solid hero in that sense. F.R.I.E.N.D.S going for a kill in the bottom lane, uses the skeletons as well, fair amount of damage, gets a lucky crit, 2 lucky crits actually, which ensure they kill Dodgy. It's unfortunate for Dodgy. I think he was most likely okay without that, but his blinding light wasn't the best, and unfortunately Sidoi had nothing to really help him. That's why the press the attack early is so nice. Melojule's already going to the jungle, and he has gone for a bit of a hybrid build. So the build that he's gone for is the recovery build. You want to be useful early, so you need a point in searing chains, but you kind of have to max the flame guard to farm in the jungle. And Nasha knows this. This is a huge loss ever since the 10% change. Of course, jungling now is more efficient, but if you jungle early, you're pretty much getting no gold, really, especially compared to the creeps. So, it's even though Ush might not get a huge upper hand, they've switched to the trade, the chosen one, okay, over Venom, one last hit, but he uses a shield in time, and Sensibility, meanwhile trying to kill Astro, but they force the Decrepify. However, they do still win this, though. Overall, they're looking for a potential Blink Strike Plov, but of course he sees the salve by the chosen one, and you don't want to go any further. Now, once the Resonant Impulse is activated, you just want to evade that guy, right? As Riki, you don't have anything besides physical damage, and without the ultimate, you lack physical damage as well, so no big deal. But yeah, Shadow Fiend absolutely dominates his lane. Not only is he a flash farmer, and he can recover nicely in the jungle, but he's also a hero that can snowball out of control if you give him a good lane. So this is not good for you at all. This Shadow Fiend pick was a really good choice. And on top of that, you put Nemiga didn't really make the best choice for the Wraith King. And the problem with Nemiga is that your lineup is kind of slow, to be honest. Ooh, what a nice snipe. That's boots plus that's potential face boots, but boots in general is so important, especially for the early game. Legion kind of takes advantage of our superior movement speed with overwhelming odds to destroy you, especially if you go for the pipe build. So this is a great move. On point on the Legion Commander. And yeah, the problem here is becoming that Wraith King is, as I said, a really slow hero. He's not particularly a fast hero. And not only that, he is a hero that actually got nerfed by the gold change a lot, because he's a hero that usually depends on the core item, especially with a traditional build of Radiance, which might not be the case this game. You might need to go for something faster. And this makes it so that Nemiga has a hard time kind of taking advantage of a bunch of their heroes. You can't really take advantage of the Ember or the Void Spirit because they can't gank as soon because your carry is not with them. And the Pugna won't be able to really push towers as early as he'd like. On top of that, you're getting a Riki, who's also a very fast hero, to farm really nicely in lane. He has not been cancelled whatsoever. You're getting a Shadow Fiend, who's also a very fast hero, to start destroying your lane and even pushing towers. The only disadvantage Shadow Fiend has right now is he can't push the tower really properly. And look, he's even committing the glyph for this. He knows, you know, he wants this catapult to survive. Oh, in the end, it's not going to survive, unfortunately. The creeps are a bit too late. But he is doing his best to put some pressure into this tower. And it's working out. While the Ember's still in the jungle. And the sooner you destroy the tier 1, the harder the Ember's life becomes. Sensibility. Aether minute hits. Resonant Pulse is available. So he's probably not going to be, really playing too aggressively. I noticed that they rotated 2 supports here to the mid lane. Unfortunately, Pugna or Grimstroke are not the best heroes. I mean, Grimstroke is okay, but Pugna is not the best hero to rotate anywhere. You kind of want him static in a lane and pushing towers as soon as possible. You've left now Void Spirit alone. Riki now has level 6. You're in trouble. Chosen One needs to use Resonant Pulse essentially to survive even 2 hits from the Riki. Otherwise, he's just immediately dead, especially with Tricks of the Trade and the choice of going for an early Orb of Venom. And Shadow Fiend continues to farm in the jungle. This is the other advantage, right? In the off chance that Ember is allowed to go back to the lane by sacrificing a bunch of resources, mainly your support's time, which means that the other cores are going to have a bit more trouble. Shadow Fiend is capable of doing the exact same thing, and he farms faster than the Ember anyway, so it's not really a win for you either. You need to do this to allow Melojule to have some lane, but it's not really helping that much. You know, Dodgy can just leave the bottom lane alone because he knows Legion can win that matchup anyway. Riki can be left alone in the top lane as well because they know that Riki can win that matchup anyway. And on top of that, you still have a Shadow Fiend that's farming. You're not you're not winning any lane right now. it's looking a lot like a snowball right now. The only problem, of course, being that you don't actually have any pusher in this team. So that's probably the weakest part. Astro could be in trouble here. They use the 2 raises. Wrecking Missiles is ready. Oh, no. Bane just pauses the game here. Can the Ghost get in time? I'm pretty certain. Yeah, it's only halfway through for the Wrecking Missiles. So we see that Hush. He's going to get silenced for sure. If you can just click on him for a second to see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so 700 HP. I think he's probably going to last this engagement. He's not going to get the Wrecking Souls off. He's going to have to get the Ghost off, but still fine. The issue is you keep casting Wrecking Souls means the Nether Ward keeps hitting you, right? It hits you as soon as you cast it, not when it actually completes the casting. It hits you as soon as you use them on, or as soon as you attempt to use it. So it's going to be... It's going to be a hard engagement for Friends, but I do find that it's still getting the upper hand. Plav is nearby. The Wraith King and Void Spirit are nowhere to be seen. There's a TP coming in from the Bane, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, hard to tell, to be honest, what that is. No, Bane is already there. Sorry, that's Legion Commander. Legion Commander's coming in. So you're actually going to have 5-man engagement versus 2, 3-ish. I think the Pugna is covered by the pause right now. Yeah, should be 3. Should be 3. I can't really see where the Pugna is, but for some reason, but he is definitely somewhere there. So another blast will hit pretty hard, Flame Guard as well. The question is, can they save this the Shadow Fiend? It all depends on how fast the Legion Commander TP is. It all depends on that. There is the reconnection by Bane. Sensibility is ready. Okay. Go. He has Magic Wand, actually, so a fair amount of damage. Let's see if Hush can survive this. And they try to use the Requiem. Of course, he acknowledges the Ghost, so he's able to dispel it immediately. That pause to his benefit, but Dodgy still dies. Nice Inkswell. Catching Hush, and Hush is going to go down here. He tries to use the Requiem last second. He does not get it off in time. He just gets a Death Requiem instead. The duel comes from the Legion, though, and they managed to get a counter kill, at least against the Ember. But still, they lost a lot there, but they're managing to at least pick up the scraps. That means that all the enemy team that rotated here, all of Nemiga, loses their life. Of course, the loss of the Shadow Fiend, though, there means a lot. And that last second of Syrian Chains, the attempt of the Requiem, maybe taking a nanosecond too long to actually commit that Requiem, really screwed them over. You do get a bit of dual damage, though, so a bit of an advantage there. Still say it's a win for Friends. But Nemiga at least took advantage of this to actually farm on their cores, which is not bad. Nice, very nice snipe there on the Ricky. That's the face boots as well. So 2 face boots have been sniped in this game by Friends, and a lot of gold going your way. That courier is actually worth 325 gold in total, of course. So something that people have forgotten is that couriers actually, bounties of couriers have not changed whatsoever. So sniping couriers is a really good way of getting gold right now. And these kills don't really give that much, but sniping couriers, man, you've already sniped 2 as Friends. It's an incredible amount of gold increase, a nice amount of extra net worth for this team. And Asadoi goes back to the bottom lane. He does seem to be rushing that Blink Dagger, but Melo Jewel,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
what are you thinking about? Do you want to go down bottom? Okay, the Chosen One in trouble. Tries to try to finish him off. Easy. But the Legion Commander could also be in a similar position. Now, unless Nemiga just was trying to rotate to get the runes, I don't think they can really fight there in the mid lane. And if you use a smoke just to get the runes, I don't love that. I would have much rather they go for the Legion. We do see that Wraith King is actually going to go for the Radiance build regardless. Okay. No, okay, the Legion Commander gets the duel off to Crep to save his life. Grimstroke is probably dead regardless, but you don't get the dual damage, so that's not bad. And they continue. Fiend's Grip on to the Ember. How do you cancel this? You just can't. Ember's gone. Courier goes with him, so that's even more extra gold to the enemy team. And Astro, realizing his mistake, is just at the mercy of this Ricky and Bane. You're just looking for the Nightmare. Astro, your decrep will be ending soon. And that's going to be Friends taking your life as well. That's going to be 3 kills the way of Friends, in addition to a courier kill. Unfortunately, no dual damage. In the middle lane, they're actually chasing after the Void Spirit, but they know that Legion has no duel right now, so it's not really that big a deal. And Shashash going for the Travel Boots build. Love this build, actually, on a Shadow Fiend. I was a big fan of the Garden Grease build back in the day when Shadow Fiend was relevant. So I like these kind of builds, which are early activation. I really like it because the early activation kind of Travel Boots and also Garden Gates in general really suits Shadow Fiend in general, because he's not a hero that depends on many items. Honestly, I think he's a kind of an item independent hero because he just has a lot of damage base. So the Tribal Boots I love because it gives you not only the chance to farm, the chance to push lanes, which is in many cases annoying, and you need this game because you don't really have great push in general. But also on top of that, it gives you the capability of just being everywhere all the time in the early game, which means putting pressure everywhere, not just lanes-wise, but literally in all team fights, which is probably the goal here. However, Nemiga is trying to take this tower in the mid lane. I wonder if they're going to fight this. It seems like they are. Okay, there we go, friends. They catch the Ember. Do they have a second stun? They don't for now. Sidoi walks in. The Ghost immediately. Ember surviving. Will-O-Wisp catches him before he can get away. But Meljul is just immediately out of here. They destroy the Astral for now and get a duel off on the Grimstroke. This time this duel will be won by Sidoi. That's 20 damage for Sidoi already. Only on supports, however. And this is giving some space to Wraith King, who's still going for that Radiance like I mentioned. It's going to take him a while to really farm it, but especially if you go in the jungle. But, you know, once you get it, maybe that's what you need. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. 4k lead already for Friends, and yes, they don't have the best pushing power, but they have enough. Oh, Shush is also even going for a Yule Setter build, by the way, for quick kills. Okay, Chosen One, playing aggressive against him, but Shush confident, knowing he can just tank this no problem.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Friends.
Dire's top tower is under
5k in the lead for them.
bottom tower is
And taking towers quickly. Legion Commander, perhaps their best pusher, going for a Blade Dagger build as opposed to the pipe they usually go for on Legion. Because they know they can play this aggressively. They have the early game. They have no need for this Legion to play with the pipe defensive build. And they actually don't even need the pipe. They've been tanking this damage quite nicely. Pugna has become more and more useless by the second, of course, because he's not a hero that's meant to really fight this. The Chosen One, alright, taking this tower in the top lane.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Carl nearby. Shadow Fiend takes Dark. Dark is gone. Nice job, Shush. And without the Grimstroke, nothing to do.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Because without the Grimstroke, actually, right now, you can't really defend easily. He's kind of the person that's stopping the lanes from pushing because of his Stroke of Fate, so it's important, really, losing him. They're only going for simple kills, of course, so he's kind of showing off the Wrecking of Souls, but they're just making the map harder and harder for Nemiga. Now they're seems to be gunning for the Wraith King. I do presume that Ricky should have a Diffusal Blade around now. Wraith King's still a bit far from that Radiance. Ricky coming in, let's see if he does have Diffusal Blade. There we go, he does. I calculated that perfectly. He's still silenced, gonna lose for sure all that mana. Doesn't have Reincarnation. So, of course, that's going to be an easy kill. With a duel included for Sidoi, by the way. So, great for them. Sensibility still looks for more. There's an offensive ward, but unfortunately doesn't have the range to actually hit anyone with his skills.
Denied.
And a Hooded Defiance now for Sidoi. As he starts to build up the pipe as well. There we go. I like this. So you need the auras as well. Seeing as the Shadow Fiend is not going to go for auras himself. Probably going to go for... Actually, Shadow Fiend, I wouldn't mind if he went for a BKB next, to be honest, straight up and just dominate this game. And we'll see how long it takes for the Wraith King to finally finish up that Radiance. It's actually, his net worth is not bad, all things considered, but it's quite a late Radiance. It's because everyone's net worth kind of been brought down, which is why it seems like this really late Radiance is kind of okay in the context of things, but Nefrit is not in good shape right now. You have 3 heroes as well and Friends that are going to take away your mana. Fiend's Grip takes away your mana, Chakra Magic potentially, if you use it offensively, and Diffusal Blade on the Ricky. So it's not the easiest of games right now for this Wraith King. They're leaving him alone. No, actually, no, Ricky's going for him. The Bane as well. Shush meanwhile fighting in the top lane. They silence him immediately. They do see him, so this Shush could be in trouble. I'm pretty sure he's dead there. They have the Will-O-Wisp. Maybe they need some time. Shush gets away, and they do get a 4-man Will-O-Wisp. They did miss that potential kill on the Wraith King, but Ricky from behind still looking for kills here as he joins the fray. The F.R.I.E.N.D.S script catches the Wraith King, kills him off quickly. Sensibility trying to get away. Nefrit as well. Shush with the Wrecking Missiles from the high ground realizes it's a mistake as the enemy team is getting out of here immediately. Plov with the Blink Strike, still hoping to catch at least the Scraggler, but they can't find anyone. Friends have to let them go. Nemiga will not be losing a single person here. In fact, it's going to be Friends who are going to lose the support. Bane went a bit too far. And Sensibility, you should learn what your name means. Because Friends just... Friends just got... or Nemiga just got a free kill for no reason here. Really. Should be more sensible, my friend. There's a Spirit Vessel coming out from Mellow Jewel, so that's going to help a bit against, I guess, the Legion. I mean, you have a bit of Dispelling, though, anyway, so it's not the greatest. Essence Ring now for Friends. This is huge, actually, one of the best items you can get in the early game. And let's see. Friends. Okay, Ushush is still really low, but Pugna is immediately decimated. Ushush going in the wrong way. Realizes Essence Rings himself as well, so he's going to be fine. And now Nefrit, the target of aggression, as Sidoi joins in. You have duel, and you know there's no reincarnation. Nefrit's as good as dead, I think. Yeah, Ricky joins in. Even the Shadow Fiend, goodbye Nefrit. They even get the dual damage for Sidoi. It's perfect. This poor Wraith King is never going to be able to farm the Radiance at this rate. It takes him forever to farm it, and now they're really starting to hunt them. And every single kill is really bad. Wrecking the Souls for the Ember. They even use a smoke screen, and Melojul cannot get away because of the smoke screen. It's actually badly timed on the Requiem, but it doesn't really matter. Ushush just playing with it at this point. And Ricky's actually managing to rush that Monster Style much quicker than the Wraith King can get at level 20. Oh, they find the Grimstroke as well with the Nightmare that sets up forever. Sensibility is actually maxed that Nightmare now fully, and he almost kills Dark alone, but Ushush comes here to steal the kill in the end. It's absolutely brutal. I don't understand Nemiga's draft, honestly. Friends, just a much better draft here. I don't think Nemiga could have executed this any better, to be honest. I don't think they did that many mistakes. Astro, oh, bad smoke screen. Really bad smoke screen. Fiend script committed just for this Pugna. The Legion's nearby. I think the Bane might die, though. What was that? Just memeing. Friends, just memeing. As Ushush pushes the top lane as well. The BKB. Okay, the BKB after the Yules. I like that. Yeah, that's appropriate. Sidoi has duel. He's looking for the kill. The Yule set to evade. They will catch him, but the press attack is ready. Ushush needs to get away. Where's the duel? There's the second Yule Scepter. And the duel to give him some space. He's been leashed. The Ricky joins in. They still win the duel. Dark is dead. Somehow Ushush is still alive. They try their best with the Aether Remnant, but the Void Spirit can chase him. Finally, the Astral Step gets him. But it's just a bit too late. You've already lost 3 heroes to the Ricky. You gave duel damage to Sidoi. That was still a huge win for Friends. Ushush tanked that like a champ. And the end got finished off by just an Astral Step, a movement-heavy hero.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay. Plov. What are you doing, Nefrit? Way too confident with the Wraith Fire Blast, I think. They know the enemy team has vision, that's why they're playing around it. So they can no longer blink. I would think that Friends can engage us. Honestly, you still have the duel. I don't know what they're afraid of, to be honest. They smoked under enemy vision, so they know that there's a smoke happened. That was a really weird play by Friends. They could have continued playing this aggressively, but I guess they give some space to the Shadow Fiend, who travels down bottom, pushes the lane, plays aggressively, Plov, meanwhile continuing to farm the Manta style. I believe the Wraith King finally has the Radiance, so he's going to have some utility now, but the pipe comes out around the same time, which is terrible. BKB is also up on the Shadow Fiend, so it's looking worse and worse for the poor guys in Nemiga. There we go, the Radiance with the Vambrace and a little Gloves of Haste as per usual on our Wraith King. Very nice, very nice. Ushush manages to push tower down bottom, no problem.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Friends take a tower here in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The silence up into the poor Ember. He's confident. He wants to fight him in the middle of the smoke screen. He knew that Legion was not there, so the duel obviously condemns him if that happens. Actually went for the Skeleton's attack damage talent. Interesting. Usually, or rarely do I see this talent when you're going to go for the mana talent afterwards, because it doesn't make much sense, honestly. Especially with the Vampiric Aura making Skeleton's numbers much more important than Skeleton themselves, the damage themselves. Also, 15 Strength is one of the best talents. Actually, Nemesis Strength magic resistance got nerfed. I guess it's not as good, but they get a quick kill on Dark. It's so quick, our Observer misses it, and Friends will go for the Roshan right after. Which, it is such a tough match, honestly. Such a tough match right now for the guys of Friends.
Dice are scanning. Radiant are scanning.
Take the Roshan.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
The flames rush for
And this ability looking for a kill here onto the Wraith King, playing way too aggressive. They have a Will-O-Wisp though, want to fight this. Honestly, I think he was just trying to create some space. And they managed to do so. Legion almost took the tower at the top. There you go, the tower's up. The Old Scepter done. There's the Requiem of Souls into the Will-O-Wisp as well. This Ember's as good as dead. Melojewel cannot survive this. Very, very strong initiation. With the duel, they also catch the Pugna. Easy kill. Plav just wanted, or sorry, Sidoi just wanted more dual damage here. And nothing Nemiga can do really not right now to stop him. Honestly, they can just call the GG. 17k difference, man. At this point in the game with the Shadow Fiend, Legion, and Ricky, nah, it's over, man. It is over. I am not gonna fake hype this game. Let's see.
Radiant's middle tower
What are you looking for? Chosen one. What is it? What is the attempt? Okay, you try to get the Inkswell off. Okay, this time with a Soul Bind, maybe something happens. The Wraith Fire Blast evaded by the Bane very nicely. They already killed the Pugna second time. Bane is gone though. And now they do get at least a kill into a support, but they have no more stuns now, Friends, to actually capture the Wraith King or kill him. As Radiance is helping them actually survive this. They go for the Legion next. Hidoi, quite confident. Smokescreen also making sure he doesn't die. Hidoi is Glimmer Cape to safety. Plav needs to get away. Has the Blink Strike. Okay, Blink on this Hidoi as well. I don't know, this is the best fight. Melojewel could be in trouble. Mondastal again evades the Wraith Fire Blast. What a player, by the way, Plav. Has been second time he does that in a row. Literally. And so Friends quite happy, honestly. They just don't wait for the Bane to come back. That's their main catch, especially except the dual Will-O-Wisp, right? So either they have the Bane or they have dual Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, they were fighting without any of those things. So Nemiga was free to roam around and do whatever they wanted. BKB is the next item of Sidoi, which I don't disagree with. Shadow Fiend I'm more interested in what he's going to go, because his next item is his big first damage item, really. Scythe of Vice. Oh, not even a damage item. Moshe just playing the utility Shadow Fiend build. I like this, actually. Faster Shadow Fiend. You deal a lot of damage magically anyway. He probably goes for Raze's talent now. Okay, this is a good smoke by Nemiga. 20k in the lead. And Friends, and Nemiga still holding hope. The issue is their late game is not particularly much better. You're up against a Ricky Shadow Fiend. It's not like you're going to beat them in the late game straight up. Especially with an Ember that can't really farm. Oh, Plav. Plav just revealed the smoke. No problem. He's like, alright, guys, they have no vision. So we're going to go for Dark. Kills Dark immediately. Has Manta style, so he dispels the Searing Chains. I'm Chosen One dies immediately to the Requiem of Souls. And Melojewel also dies to the Ricky. GG. Alright. Okay. I don't know what to say to that. That ending was like, they smoked, but they didn't carry vision, or I don't know, they didn't use it on the Ricky. Ricky reveals the smoke, and they're like, I guess we're dead. Ricky gets a quick kill on Grimstroke, and I mean, at that point, the game was over. Anyway, 22k in the lead. Friends is so much better than Nemiga right now, but it's mainly because of the draft. The draft was so much better. That last Wraith King pick was more than questionable. That said, guys, we have some final comments. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. First deposit bonus of up to $600. At EGB.com, you can also find convenient service, daily quest, and a bonus system. Interesting? Click on the banner under the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the cast. My name is DSwordfish, and I'll see you guys shortly with the next game between Nemiga and Friends. It's a best of 3, so let's see if if Nemiga can bring it back.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Of up to $600 at EGB.com. You can also find convenient